That is the hardest part of that ring.
Austin 2016 says I just whipped your ass.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello, everybody. Welcome
The hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 64 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to celebrate the wonder of professional wrestling. Some people call it the showcase of the immortals. Others call it the show of shows. We just call it Hardest Part of the Ring.
Hey,
And we're
nice.
here to review WrestleMania 2019. Oh, they didn't even refer to the number, did they?
No, they do that sometimes. They just decide, the number will, kind of... Oh, wait, do you mean the number is in 2019 or the number is in 35?
Oh,
35.
I thought it was 34. Is it 35?
35,
Oh.
yeah.
Ooh, chaos.
35. Chaos at the start of the pod. We wouldn't have it any other way. I am Adam, for anybody who didn't know that, and I am with three great friends, even though we couldn't even get together to watch WrestleMania. Sam is here.
Hi.
Sam watched it at his house with another friend.
Yeah, I did.
Ooh.
John is here.
Hello, happy Wrestle New Year, everyone.
It's the Wrestling New Year.
Yes.
John made the effort. He came to my house and we watched it together, so that was lovely.
Two-man party.
Yeah.
No
and
friends.
Brett is also here.
Hello.
Brett, you watched it alone.
I did, like a loner.
Crying into a pillow.
Yeah.
Too busy with all his work, no doubt.
Moving keyframes and watching wrestling.
Was that just to improve WrestleMania? Just
Yes.
moving keyframes out of it.
How many keyframes did you remove from Batista Triple H and how much better did it become?
I love this. We're doing some hot After Effects gags for all the motion graphics fans out there. So, I mean, it's WrestleMania. Some listeners will know that usually we try and get together for the big four pay-per-views, take it in turns to go around each other's houses, watch it all, and then sometimes we even try and do a bit of a podcast. But, you know, I think this is the second WrestleMania in a row that we haven't been together. John was away last year.
I like you say, we try to do a bit of a podcast as if we don't try and do a bit of a podcast every couple of weeks.
Well, what I mean is we used to try and record a podcast, didn't we, after the pay-per-views?
Right, I'm with you.
Because they're so long, usually people have to try and get home for other stuff. But anyway, we are here. It is Monday evening for us, so we've all watched WrestleMania today, and now we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Last podcast was a very swift NXT TakeOver New York review. Sam and I did that.
Pod.
It was quite fun. Just
TakeOver, hardest part of the ring.
in and out. Just
I
bashed
can't
it
believe
out.
you guys got to talk about TakeOver. And we've got to talk about WrestleMania.
I know. I love the fact that it's so hardest part of the ring that we will spend an hour and a half talking about our fantasy made-up draft and then spend only 40 minutes talking about NXT TakeOver. But I think before we get into WrestleMania, we should find out quickly, because I'm sure the listeners are absolutely gasping to find out what Brett and John thought. So, you loved it, right?
Unbelievable.
Takeover was immense.
Yeah?
From start to finish. So freaking good.
Highlights? All of it.
Yeah, all of it. I mean, Adam Cole Gargano was one of the best matches ever.
I actually, although I thought it was going to be Pete Dunne and Walter, it was Velveteen Dream and Matt Riddle that was my favourite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely loved it.
I love that match as well. Matt Riddle is so spectacularly athletic for someone his size.
Yeah.
When he did that floating bro, I
that
screamed
looked so good,
so
didn't it?
loudly. I woke my wife. Neighbours were banging on the door, asking if there was a child screaming in my flat.
I thought your neighbours were banging. Interesting reaction. I love the fact that he's definitely getting the WWE treatment where every single move now has the bro in the title.
Did someone call that move the man in the coffin? Because that's a great name for it.
Man in the coffin.
You just did.
No, I swear, it's in the commentary of TakeOver. When he jumps off, one goes, there's the floating bro, and someone else says, the man in the coffin. I think it was Nigel McGuinness.
Okay.
One of the highlights
One to look back on.
from commentary was Morallo calling Aleister Black Sir Kix-a-Lot.
Yes.
Oh,
Made me laugh.
that's good.
Yeah. He was obviously just absolutely brilliant, as always. And one downside to Ronaldo was his hair. He's gone for the full, proper black dyed hair look, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think he may have even had some plugs or something, but can't criticise a man who wants to retain his youth.
No.
Can you?
Yes.
No, I mean, I
Says the
can't
youngest of all of
criticise.
us.
Nicolas Cage is like my favourite person ever, and he jet black dyes his beard. So, you go for
Steven
it, Ronaldo.
Seagal. Yeah, they all do it. Shall we do one thing Sam and I didn't do, and we've got to do it because we've got to keep our spreadsheet up to date. Should we do some scores out of 10 for TakeOver, just to set us up for a massive fall when we start discussing WrestleMania?
Okay.
Brett, what would you give it?
I'm going to give it a 10. Outstanding.
Fuck. Sam.
I purposely didn't do a score yesterday because I knew I was going to give it a 10 yesterday. And I thought, you know what? If I take a bit of time, I might cool off and get a more realistic one. Nope, it's a 10.
Yes.
Shit. John?
I mean, yeah, it has to be a 10.
Oh. Well, do you know what?
Oh, Adam, you put yourself in last.
Yeah. And I'm going to give it a 9.5.
What does it need to do to get that extra 0.5?
Was there too much Velveteen Dream for you?
No, the women's match was good, but I mean, basically, to get a 10 out of 10, every single match would have to be a 5-star for me. Like, it has to be the perfect pay-per-view, and it was so close. But I think I don't know. I'm one of those guys that you like, perfection is unachievable. You've always got to strive for it. And that's why we'll be taking applications for new new podcast friends, if anybody wants to get involved in House Part of the Ring. New podcast friends. I've totally fucked up what I was trying to say then, which shows how good I am at podcasting. Anyway, yeah, 9.5 for me. And also, I don't want it to be easy for Sam to work out the average.
Oh, son of a bitch. I was drawing pandas on my notebook.
Drawing pandas?
Drawing pandas.
Calculator. I sometimes draw pandas.
It's a terrifying insight into the psyche of Sam Andrews there.
Yeah.
It's 9.875.
9.875. It's a shame we don't have little clips from the episode at the start to whet people's appetites, because I sometimes draw pandas would have got people very excited. 9.875, by far the best pay-per-view we've ever reviewed on this podcast. No surprise there. But I mean, even as takeovers go, it was fucking good.
Yeah.
We need a real recency bias kind of like meter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, that is a little bit of a takeover recap, and after this short break, we're going to talk about WrestleMania 2019/35.
Oh, wait a minute. No, Daniel Bryan's got Big Cass set up here on the apron. Hardest part of the ring. Oh man. My goodness.
WrestleMania 35/2019 was held at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey with a whopping 82,265, which I'm sure you noticed was a WWE MetLife record.
Yeah.
There's a lot of numbers just then.
I mean, you can have a record every week when your numbers are kayfabe.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're just saying the venue.
Yeah.
Are we going to reach an eventual tipping point where WWE claim the attendance is higher than the population?
Yes, that will happen. MetLife Stadium, of course, is the home of the New York Giants and the New York Jets.
Okay.
No, not interesting.
I don't know what either of those are.
Where did the Yankees play?
Yeah, I was thinking it
Yankee
must be
Stadium.
Yankees because they had that whole...
They play in the Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
But I kept noticing they kept describing it as in the shadow of New York, which felt very disingenuous to New Jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it is, but still.
So yes, WrestleMania 35 had, I mean, if you include the pre-show, which obviously a lot of the fans there did, then it basically had a whole working day worth of wrestling, because it was 7 hours and 25 minutes, 16 matches. I mean, I wanted to start off with, obviously we're going to talk about a lot of the matches individually and pick out highlights and things like that. But a little while ago, we'll remember when everything went to shit on Raw with Baron Corbin being the general manager, the McMahon said that they were going to start listening to the fans and they were going to start giving them what they want. And if you fast forward to now, there is an argument to say that they have done that, because there were 16 matches and there were 14 face wins. Rollins went over, Kofi went over, Becky went over.
I really don't
good.
remember telling WWE I wanted a 7-hour pay-per-view.
No, I don't think anyone said that.
But they said they'd start listening to the fans, and I even though I didn't necessarily feel this whilst watching it, in hindsight, I guess it has sort of left me with a pretty good feeling. Brett, what do you reckon, Brett? Did this leave you feeling good?
It did, actually. Knackered. I feel I'm still watching it, but yeah, some very feel-good moments.
Yeah. What about you, John? I mean, you watched it with me, so you're probably pretty high on life.
Yeah, I enjoyed it overall. Like, obviously, it's too long and could have done with some cutting, but
Yeah.
the big moments sort of delivered, I think.
Yeah. Sam, in agreement?
Yeah, good WrestleMania. Hit all the points that it needed to.
Good. Okay, should we just stop the pod there?
Yeah.
Go back and talk about
Let's go watch
NXT?
TakeOver again.
Oh my God, can we?
Before we get into our key matches and things like that, there was, of course, a 2-hour pre-show, which had 4 matches on it, including 2 massive battle royales and 2 championship matches. So there was the Cruiserweight Championship with Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy, the Women's Battle Royale, the Raw Tag Team Championship match between Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins versus the Revival, and then the Men's Battle Royale. We will go live to our pre-show correspondent, Pre-Show Jones. You watched this last night live, right?
I did. I did.
No wonder
I
you're tired.
realised it started and I was like, oh, I can watch it. And I actually fell asleep just after the men's battle royal, or the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal, whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's too long, that title, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Too many M's in it.
What do you think? Any of it any good?
So I caught the end of the cruiserweight, so I can't really claim to know how that went. The women's battle royal was it was a bit of a dog's dinner just because there was too many people and it was over really quick, so you didn't really see much of
You're
anything
complaining
happening.
there's too many people in a battle royale.
Well, because they're just the ring for both the men's and the women's. It was just chocker with people. So, and the camera was never really focused on
battle
anyone.
royale.
No, I know, but if it had more time, it can focus on people getting
Yeah.
thrown out and stuff. But when
Okay, yes.
I know what you mean.
when it's so short, you don't even have time to see who's actually in the battle royale before it's
Yeah.
over.
Okay, yeah, fair.
And that was sort of the case with both of them.
After you said that Braun won the men's and that he looked great and that he ripped his shirt off, I was like, shit, I need to watch this.
Yeah.
And John was a bit late and coming
right.
to mind, so I had a bit of time to watch it, and God, he did look good, didn't he?
Yeah, he was cut. He'd obviously lost a fair bit of timber. I mean, it's
And he
not
was
like he was
fast.
a lot. Obviously, he's a large bloke, but not like a fat bloke. But he's just massive. But he's
Yeah.
really trim now and just mega muscly. And he was so fast, running
Yeah.
across that ring and jumping to do the drop kicks and stuff. He looked good.
He's been doing some proper conditioning, I think, and a huge contrast from his days in the Wyatt family.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was the pre-show. The main card, usually I would read out the matches, but that's tedious.
Come
when it's
on,
just
Adam.
a normal length pay-per-view.
It's only
You want me to do it?
only 11 matches. Go for it.
Yeah, but also I've had a bit of a cold. Okay, let's do it. The main card was 5 hours and 25 minutes, and it started off with Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. Then we had AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Then we had a fatal four-way for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Then we had The Miz versus Shane McMahon in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Then we had a fatal four-way for the Women's Tag Team Championships, followed by Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, Triple H versus Batista in a no-holds-barred match, Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle in Kurt Angle's farewell appearance, Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley in the Intercontinental Championship match, and finally, a winner-takes-all match for the SmackDown and Raw Women's Championships between Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte.
Excellent.
You missed
work.
out Michael Cole versus his voice in a 300-minute Iron Man match.
He was struggling at the end, wasn't he? He was like,
He really
this is
was.
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, it sounded a bit like they got Shawn Michaels back on
Oh yeah.
to call the last match. So yeah, we're going to talk about key matches, and then we're going to do best of the rest, worst of the rest, and pick a star performer and give it a rank. So give it a score out of 10. So key matches, we've just gone initially for the sort of main title matches to talk about, but don't worry, we are going to talk about a lot of the others as well, because there's bloody loads. So the first one, we're going to do it chronologically, and we're going to start off with the Universal Championship match, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, which I think everyone will agree was a really sort of happy surprise when Paul Heyman interrupted Hulk Hogan.
Oh God,
Never going to be upset with that.
No.
Yeah. But when he strode out down to the ring, I was like, yes, this is great. What a great way to start.
Yeah.
And I really like the
Totally
fact
agree.
that he went down the route of saying, if it's not going to be the last match, then we're just going to get it out of the way and head to Vegas. But yeah, the match itself, what did you think, Sam?
Didn't like it.
No?
No, I just kind of... The thing with Brock Lesnar is I know that he's got him in him. I know he's got the ability to actually put on a decent 20-minute match. But having him beat the shit out of Seth Rollins and then eat 3 curb stomps feels incredibly lazy to me and disingenuous to both of these wrestlers who can do more than that.
Yeah, that feels like most Brock matches these days, though, doesn't it? Like,
I would say his last few matches have been really good, like Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles.
So, yeah, that's the thing with Brock Lesnar for me, is that I'm not saying I dislike him, he's a bad wrestler. I'm saying I dislike the effort that it feels that he puts into some of his matches, where it's like, I liked it when he's beating the crap out of Seth Rollins around the ring and all of that, and I just feel like, that was good, and it just needed to be more of it, really. It was like kind of he was showing he could do a really great WrestleMania match if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But instead we got 5 minutes of a beating up and then 3 curb stomps.
It does feel like this should have been a bigger moment. Like, Brock's been the Universal Champion for a long time, on and off. So obviously Roman won it last year, but it was a long time before that as well. And it feels like this was like the crowning moment of Seth Rollins, like a big moment in his career, like taking the championship off Brock at WrestleMania, and it just felt a bit flat, didn't it? Just like,
well, because it was like a low blow and then 3 curb stomps.
I don't know, like I said, I like Seth Rollins as a wrestler, and I hate to say it, I like the atmosphere Brock Lesnar brings. Like, it does make it feel like a cut above whenever he appears.
Yeah, he's an event, isn't he?
Exactly. Like, the way he was throwing Seth Rollins around like a child was amazing, and Seth Rollins' selling is as on point as ever. And it just felt like it needed to be 10 minutes more, and there was so much time for WrestleMania, and yet this one felt like it got short-shifted.
In a way, thank God it wasn't 10 minutes more, because who knows what will happen towards the end. But yeah, it just didn't build enough for us to be able to enjoy the moment, as you said. And I think it was kind of like, oh, he's won it, rather than like, yeah, he's won it.
Was anyone else expecting him to kick out?
Yeah, there's no way I thought it's going to be over this quickly, like this.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought definitely.
I think there were quite a few matches, and obviously we're going to talk about a lot of them, that finished like that. It was like, oh, okay. Oh, right, that's happened.
Yeah.
Rather than, if you think about going back to TakeOver, I feel like you need a few near falls.
You need to build to a finish to give the crowd some indication of what's going to happen, so they can build with the match. And there's quite a lot of matches on this card that sort of failed to do that. So the actual finish felt a bit, like this, a bit flat.
I think that's a common problem on main roster pay-per-views as well, though, isn't it? Like, I recall many times reviewing stuff and saying finishes just seem to suddenly happen, as opposed to like you're saying in TakeOver, they managed to every time in each match build it and build it and build it until then you're ready for a finish. And it's usually a big finish. But
I mean, TakeOver, we sound like a broken record, I'm sure, but 3 hours, 5 matches compared to 5 hours. 14 matches, and
it's clear
matches.
that helps to have a great pay-per-view.
It is, and it's just that and we know they just want to get everyone on the card, everyone to have their payday. I'm sure they weren't expecting Roman Reigns to come back, and I understand why they've shoved him into WrestleMania. But there's just quite a few matches that didn't really need to happen. There's nothing at stake, and so
I would argue the Roman Reigns match wasn't the problem match in this in this long list, but if I look over it, Batista Triple H is one I'm sure we'll talk about soon.
I'm sure it is. Let's move on though to the next key match, and chronologically it was the WWE Championship match between Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston, which I don't think suffered from the sort of surprise quick ending. I think it did build, and the crowd were into it, and I think it was probably the moment of the night, because at least we got to enjoy the moment, and it didn't just end.
Match of the night as well. It was an amazing match.
Yeah. And this one definitely did that thing where it built, because it's at the beginning it felt a bit like it was just going to be going through the motions. So it was a little bit of a low key start, I felt, but then it certainly did ramp it up, and I was totally invested before the moment that I sort of was expecting, but it still helped.
Hoping, but with knowing WWE, you kind of thought they're not going to give it to us. They never give it to us, but it was great to have that moment. And Daniel Bryan's continuing his run of just being one of the best wrestlers in the world at the moment. He's phenomenal.
And those transitions were just gorgeous. Like, I feel like this was Kofi Kingston's probably the best match I've ever seen of his.
Yeah, like it was really hard hitting, and seeing him sort of fight back when sort of was asking Bryan to hit him, and he sort of almost hulked up a bit. That was awesome.
Yeah. But Bryan, you say about his transitions, there was that bit where he counted into the Boston Crab.
Oh, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah, great. Yeah.
And there was a sweet counter from Kofi where I think Daniel Bryan went to kick or do something, and like Kofi got his leg over and rolled him then round into a suplex, but it was like a front facing suplex or something. I'd not seen that before either, and that looked smooth.
Yeah, it did look good. What did you guys make of the backstage cheesy bits with everybody watching and constantly just going, Kofi, Kofi, Kofi?
God, they did not look like they wanted to be there, did they?
And R-Truth, like really tall, standing in front of all the short people.
Yeah, I didn't like that actually. It worked a lot. It worked really well on SmackDown, but Wrestlemania I felt like it gave the ending away a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess Biggie saying, "Hey, I've got a gift for you."
Yeah.
Gave it away.
I think there were many moments.
Well, Adam, when we were watching, Adam said you can see the belts, just the actual belts underneath that black cloth.
Well, yeah, quite. Like I thought that was what the gift was, and then
that was weird. I was like, okay, so there's the belt that they're going to unveil at the end.
Yeah. I was expecting a pancake belt or something.
Yeah. Oh my god, that could have been good. It is a shame to see the back of the vegan championship. Is it? I mean, John and I think it was. We're big fans of that belt.
Yeah, I thought it looked great.
The only worry I have with this feels like one of those classics there moments where WWE gave us this WrestleMania moment, but tonight on Raw, he's losing that belt.
Oh yeah.
I hope
not. Big E?
Maybe. The heel turn.
Oh, imagine.
What I love as well is that New Day have been saying for years that they want to get Kofi into the sort of main belt sort of scene and have him win the belt. And that's finally happened. And it obviously meant so much to all of them as well. It was a really lovely moment. And if I hadn't been watching it with Adam, I would have been crying.
I refuse. There's no crying in my house. Absolutely no crying allowed. The celebrating with the kids, though, lovely moment. I loved it when the oldest son got hold of the t-shirt and then jumped up to the top turnbuckle to parade it. It was great. Lovely.
It was just a fantastic, really, really great for Kofi, and a real kind of endorsement as well for WWE to kind of really pull the trigger on tag team breaking out of like the mold. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's one of those great moments where the crowd wanted this, and WWE went, "Okay, yeah, sure, we'll go for it."
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. The McMahons are giving people what they want.
Yeah,
they're nice people. They're really good people. On to the next match, the next key match, which was the main event. Definitely the match I was most excited about. The winner takes all match between Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte. Should we talk quickly about the entrances and all that stuff beforehand? Charlotte in the helicopter. Oh, I love that.
That was very cool.
Yeah, I thought it was all great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously Charlotte in the helicopter and then Ronda coming out to Joan Jett and the Black Hearts is really cool. Like, that's brilliant. Sort of, along the same lines of Motorhead playing for Triple H all those years ago. But then Becky didn't get anything.
She didn't need it. She's the man.
That's the point of the whole Becky thing.
Yeah, she's the man, and also she's not a champion, so the other two were going in as champions. So I was
okay. Yeah, that's a
I
good
sort
point,
of had
actually.
that thought like you had immediately, but then I was like, when you're watching her walk down, it's like she doesn't need it. Like this is more than enough. Anything else takes away from everything she's built herself.
Plus, I guess she also had the look, she'd gone for like a special look, hadn't she, with her hair and her makeup and things, whereas the other two sort of just look classic them, which is cool. But
Her hair
I
looked
thought
absolutely insane.
it was
It
wild,
looked
wasn't
amazing.
it?
Lion mane, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Plus, I was all for it's WrestleMania, like special outfits. There wasn't enough overall.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
apart from Nakamura.
Rey Mysterio's was great. Come on.
No, there were some, and there will be, mentioned later. But like overall, it just seemed like there was too many run of the mill. It's like, come on, you're having your WrestleMania moment.
Exactly. Exactly. Obviously, the result. Becky Lynch is now, well, she holds both the women's championships, which is great. And we will talk a bit about the match, but I was absolutely gutted that it just ended. And she obviously got her moment. She got to celebrate with the crowd properly, but we didn't get to see any of that.
It was weird, wasn't
Yeah.
it? It was really weird. There seems to be a lot of talk about it being a botched finish, which kind of sounds like it was, to be fair.
Didn't feel like a botch because it
No,
counted it quite quickly, and her music came on straight after.
Sorry, when I say botched finish, I mean kind of like the actual pinfall itself.
Pin.
Was
Oh, I
botched.
see.
That
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
supposed to happen, was it?
No, I've read that, but actually, I don't. I think if anything, it leads into them having like more to do. Beyond this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Like,
I
yeah.
agree.
Like I'm
Ronda
all.
can feel aggrieved.
Yeah, I'm all for it. If because we know more than ever that like in the world of football and everything, refs make constant, glaring mistakes.
Yeah.
So that's okay in a wrestling ring as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it depends what's going on with Ronda, because there's obviously been a lot of talk that she's going to have an extended break now, or that she wanted that, or that she might even not
Yeah.
continue.
Apparently, she
but-
might have broken her hand as well.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well.
Ooh,
Really?
Yeah.
right. Well, we should talk about the match. Obviously, I thought it was pretty brutal at times. There were lots of welts appearing. There were lots of big
Yeah.
bumps. Ronda in particular she bumped hard in this match.
she did.
She did, yeah. That drop kick when she had the triangle chokehold.
Oh, what then fell to the outside?
Fell and she
Yeah.
smacked on the apron and then to the outside. Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
I feel like if this match was halfway through WrestleMania, the crowd would have been insane for it. But after
Yeah.
7 hours,
Yeah, the constant problem.
it was just they just couldn't get up for it. And I think the ending really sort of made that even worse because there was no build to the ending. The crowd couldn't get up for it, for that big
Again,
roar.
it came out of nowhere, didn't it? It
Yeah.
came out of absolute nowhere. It was such an abrupt end.
She has
And
won quite a few of her
wasn't ready.
matches, Becky Lynch, though, with sort of wins out of nowhere, pins out of nowhere. She beat Charlotte with like a roll up from like a DDT or something, didn't she? And
Yeah.
so it kind of makes sense in that regard. But yeah, like Brett was saying, I think it works because it leads to more stories down the line.
Yeah, and it was
also-
a sweet counter as well. I
Yeah, it
thought,
was,
from the
yeah.
Piper's Pit into the pin. I thought that was nice.
And it kind of makes sense because the only way Becky could ever beat Ronda is with like wrestling knowledge. She's never going to sort of out hit her or anything like that because Ronda's a UFC champion.
Yeah, but she's Irish.
Good point. Good point.
I saw somebody else point out as well that they kind of had to have the roll-up finish rather than maybe going for the disarm her, because they couldn't have Ronda losing to a submission move. Like somebody with that MMA background, they just couldn't have that.
That really upsets me a lot. I don't know that one bit.
Yeah, it might. I mean, that's speculation.
That's a bit rubbish. And I was reading that apparently they thought that was how she was going to lose, which was also why they think it's an odd finish. But I guess, a counter quick like roll up pin works, especially in a triple threat match, so that the other person doesn't have the time to interrupt.
Yeah.
Because, submissions
I feel like
usually take longer.
It was a little bit unfair on them because the table spot didn't go to plan, and then kind of like this was directly after that. And yeah.
But I thought all up to that, I was really enjoying this match as well, though. Like you say, the strikes and the forearms that they were throwing, everything was looking great.
Just the pacing of it was really good because normally in these triple threats, one of them gets put out of the ring for like 20 minutes and then comes running back in. But it felt they were interchanging quite a lot and it was really fast.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed Ronda's counter to the disarmer, where she literally picked her up off kind of from the rope break.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Ronda was great. I thought, like, her trash talk was fucking amazing. You chop like a bitch.
Yeah, that was so cool, that bit. I love that.
And then with the table, where she's like, you want tables? Tables are for bitches.
I think she's so good as a heel, and she seems so much more comfortable in it as well.
I think that's going to be my catchphrase now. Like, next time I go out for a meal with my wife or something, you want tables? Tables are for bitches.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip the table. I just realised my wife listens to this. I promise I'm not going to do that. I promise. But yeah, it just sort of felt like the whole build, like everything that had happened before this, it didn't get the blow off that it deserved. I mean, the match was good, but it didn't get the ending that it deserved for me.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
And they could have, like you say, they could have just run it on after to enjoy the celebrations. You know, people can switch off if they want to. Like, it's already been 7 hours and whatever. Like, just let
That's
that
what I
bit
thought
run.
too. I thought even if people were having to leave, like rush out of the stadium to get home or whatever, because obviously it's a Sunday night, they've been there all day, they're going to want to get home and get some rest before work. I just thought, what, like it's on the network. Why do they have to end it like that?
I guess it's still on pay-per-view in some places.
I suppose it probably is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it? Is it?
Well, when they did the sort of foreign announce teams, the French one, it had a French channel underneath them.
Oh, yes, it did.
Yeah. So it must be on a French TV channel.
Okay, good point then. I suppose that's probably for the best, because imagine what it might be like if it was just like, let's just have WrestleMania 24 hours.
Don't let Vince hear you say that, that will be next year.
Yeah, that will happen.
And then the year after that, it's just going to be WrestleMania all year round.
You could just tune in. It'll be like back in the day when Big Brother first started, and you have the 24-hour cameras. You could just tune in every so often. That was a real novelty at the time.
Yeah, I used to find it so relaxing watching them sleep.
Yeah, I used to quite enjoy. Well, I say quite enjoy. I was pretty obsessed with Big Brother back in the day. But we won't get into that now.
Yeah, different podcast, that one.
To talk about WrestleMania. Okay, so those are the key matches, the big title matches. Three new champs, which is cool. Obviously, it's going to be very exciting to see what happens with Becky now, how she's going to defend both titles. But it's very refreshing to have Seth Rollins, an active, present champion on Raw.
Yeah.
And obviously seeing what happens with Kofi is exciting. So three great results from a fan's perspective, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. It does set up a lot of really interesting stuff. Like, finally, we have the championship on TV all the time. Kofi being a champ is going to be interesting. Becky being double champs. I mean, are they going to unify? Is she going to be across both brands?
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Exciting
It's
times.
good, because like, you would imagine that both Asuka and Carmella with her Battle Royale win are both going to kind of maybe be there or thereabouts to kind of like prop up the division. So rather than just going back to the old Becky Charlotte
Yeah. And Becky versus Asuka. Oof.
Also, that finish did make it okay that Asuka dropped the belt. I was like, there's only one way I'm happy or, okay with Asuka dropping the belt to Charlotte the other week, is if Becky walks out with both.
Yeah. I still think that's a terrible decision.
Asuka's been really hard done by.
Guys, we were just saying how exciting and great this was.
Hey, I was being positive.
Yeah, no. I think we should have a quick break, because we're half an hour-ish in, and then we'll come back for Best of the Rest.
Sounds good.
Black's on the apron. Hardest part of the ring.
Right then, we're back, and we're going to talk about the Best of the Rest. So any of the other matches or moments, I'm sure WWE would prefer us just to talk about moments, but any of the other stuff that we enjoyed. So, Sam?
All right. This is one that I did not expect to like as much as I did.
Right.
Shane McMahon versus The Miz.
Oh, really?
Featuring The Miz's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are you okay? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah. You sure? Yeah. Stop saying yeah, Dad. You're supposed to look like you're injured.
Come on, that spot at the end with the suplex. I know it's obviously going onto a crash mat. He still did a good job of it.
I agree with that.
That was the only positive bit I had in this match.
Oh, what about the bump over the golf buggy? That was great.
That was insane, that bump, actually, because they very nearly missed the golf buggy, and if they did, that would have been a very big drop.
Yeah.
And that whole bit where they went to the foreign announce tables, was really
Right.
great, actually.
He was bumping all over the shop.
That was one of my favourite parts. Was like I've always thought that the international announcers tables was a myth, like because they never really, they just kind of cut to it randomly. And it's like, and here's Portugal, Hindustani, and Indian, and it's just like, wait, what? And yeah, it turns out there's a real place that the wrestlers can get to with enough effort and fuck each other over. And
I have to say,
Yeah.
if there was a checklist of things that John hates about wrestling, it would be involving family members, tick.
Yeah.
Not having very much wrestling, tick.
Tick, yeah.
Shane McMahon, tick.
right, okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm with you there, John.
I'm about to turn heel here because I'm going to start defending Shane.
What do you mean turn heel?
Yes,
I thought you were the heel, Sam.
Boo, Brett going over as the biggest face again and again and again.
What a WrestleMania moment for Brad. Shane McMahon's wrestling, right? Yeah, okay. Like, I know it's really difficult to see a McMahon shove himself into every single pay-per-view. That it drives everyone nuts. I get that, right? If you
Sorry, carry on.
if you have to watch a McMahon wrestle,
Yeah.
right? Because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You surely want the one who has no care about his own well-being, just lives about the whole 90s, knows that one day he's going to get fired anyway once Stephanie takes over.
definitely.
The one who starts sweating within 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'd say he does care about his well-being. It's just his dad tells him, like, you know, if you want any part of this company, you're going to go out there and put your life on the line.
Yeah.
If
he
you can
holds-
jump 20 foot every week.
Vince is
We've
holding
got a
up the
role for
will.
you.
He say, look, your name is currently on this. If you want it to stay that way, then you need to go and take that
I
massive
love
bump.
the idea of Vince McMahon owning a will, and it's all like in print, and then it's just and Shane in pencil at the bottom.
Yeah.
And every single day he's just
holding
pointing
an
at it
eraser.
with the eraser,
Yeah.
and he's just like, "You got another coast to coast in you?"
And we all know, no matter what Shane does, he's coming off it at the end, and it's all going to Stephanie. and
Oh,
Trick.
yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like McMahon's when they play heels. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe not too much, but I feel like recently Shane McMahon has kind of, I don't know, I've been coming round to it. It's so bad it's good, is my take on it.
I'm surprised actually because I when I watched this match with John, I thought this is probably the match that maybe you guys were going to go in hard on for being an absolute joke. And I made a note, which was you've got to remember that WrestleMania is a variety show and it's got to have a bit of everything. And a bit like having Nicholas and Braun last year, it's got to play to all the different types of you know, of the fans, all the different types of fan. And you like it, so that's
I mean,
good.
yeah, it was just fun and stupid. It kind of reminded me like a bad version of The Rock versus Stone Cold from WrestleMania X7.
Wow.
Oh, not The Rock,
Wow,
Stone Cold. No,
wow.
no. Hold on. No, sorry, Undertaker, Triple H from WrestleMania. Like when
I
they were
thought-
climbing the scaffolding.
Yeah. Okay.
When the golf cart came out, I thought it was more like the hardcore match from WrestleMania
That's
X7.
fine.
I was hoping, Raven was going to come out and get run over.
I love that
Do you know
hardcore
what?
match. Let's not compare it to that.
If you're going to go in, Falls Count Anywhere, go in hard, and that's what they've done here.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't like that match at all. Ugh.
Well, what did you like, John? What was your best of the rest?
So when I met up with Adam, I put a little prediction in.
It's true. He did.
I said, I think AJ Styles versus Randy Orton is going to be sleeper hit of this WrestleMania.
And I wrote it down because I thought that was going to be bullshit.
Although it probably wasn't a sleeper hit, it was a surprisingly good match.
I'm with you on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I thought, again, good match.
On the
Yeah,
card,
really
with,
solid.
with 25 different wrestling matches, there wasn't actually a great deal of wrestling going on in a lot of them. And this one, they gave it time. They're two great workers. AJ Styles kicked out of an RKO. I can't remember the last time anyone did that.
Yeah.
It was solid.
Yeah, that did surprise me, actually.
Yeah,
I was
like,
thinking, oh,
we
God,
give
no.
Randy a lot of stick because, you know, he's been around for like 20 odd years, but he's a good worker and he knows what he's doing. And AJ is obviously really good. It was a good match. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember during that match, I sort of commented at how the crowd looked really cool with those big yellow patches of the lighting.
Yeah, I read about that.
And I read about that just before this.
Oh, what
Apparently
was it?
Those sections of the crowd couldn't fucking see anything.
Yeah,
and do you
they
remember
got
when
blinded.
Randy was dealing with the crowd? 'Cause
Yeah.
the crowd were distracted.
Yeah.
That's because they were chanting, turn the lights off, or something along those lines.
Because I thought Randy did really well there to like bring the crowd back in. Like, I thought that was such a pro move.
There were photos from the fans' perspective, and all they could see the match happening on the big screens, but in terms of the ring, all they could see was this massive glare, this yellow light aiming at them, which is so shit.
Over to this as well. Apparently, those fans that got blinded, if they write into WWE Fan Services, have been given free tickets to the next Raw event in their area.
Oh wow!
I thought you were going to say next WrestleMania, which would have been pretty good.
Well, that would be huge.
The Pirate Mania.
Oh wow! The Tampa Bay, the Kairi Sane Mania.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yes, a whole year to build.
The Randy Orton AJ match, the superplex, was one of the most beautiful superplexes I've ever seen.
He really got up,
perfect.
didn't he? Rather than just sort of throw him across. It was a really great suplex.
Yeah, agreed.
I think, again, with Randy Orton kind of like being someone who can sometimes be accused of not putting in enough effort, when he does do well, he does remind me of Okada in the best way.
Yeah, sort of quite, not a massive moveset, but does it really well. You know, knows his
just real
strengths.
kind of finesse.
Yeah.
Yeah, his power slam is my favourite power slam.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think
More than
Oh,
Goldust?
No, Goldust does it better, but
No,
Mate,
Randy
when's
does
the
it
last time
so
Goldust
well.
had a match?
Oh, guys, come on.
no, I'm with Sam on this one.
No.
I haven't seen Goldust wrestle
No,
for absolute
What's your point?
years.
but he still
Since
did
this
it better
pod
than
started.
Randy Orton.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Just
every
in the
time I
past.
see a Randy match, I love his power slams. Okay,
Yeah.
Yep, I like his drop kicks. I think they're really refined and beautiful.
Good. Well, I agree with you there, John. That was a good pick. Definitely delivered. Not too long as well. Didn't outstay its welcome. And considering some of the other matches that had nothing at stake, it was a little bit problematic. The fact that this had nothing at stake didn't really affect it. So yeah, good choice. Brett, have you got any other highlights? Best of the rest?
I got a couple of highlights. As briefly mentioned earlier, Rey Mysterio's WrestleMania outfit
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
was awesome. And I actually enjoyed the Thugonomics section.
Oh, get out.
And the heel turn has come.
Yeah.
I don't know who we're talking to right now, but it is not Brett.
What in the world? Who are you?
Who enjoyed that? Honestly, you did. Okay, why?
Yeah, because it was just funny. It was stupid.
This is the Ms. Shane McMahon argument.
Yeah, it was short, and it was just, it wasn't anything too long or more. I didn't like the pre-section with Elias playing music with Elias, but just a little, throwing a few insults at him, pretending to be gangster was funny.
You think John Cena's a really good rapper, don't you?
Yeah, I think he's
He's your favourite rapper.
he's up there.
This is definitely midlife crisis John Cena.
I thought you were going to say midlife crisis Brett, which I would agree with.
It was so funny, and I expected to hate it, but you know what? Everything was going on so long, I was probably a bit delirious at that point.
Yeah.
I thought the main event must have been on the horizon, and yeah, I just laughed.
Yeah, that's funny.
Tell you what, when John Cena's got the hat on, he looks just like he did back then, actually.
Yeah, he looks much better with a hat on.
Yeah.
His side parting that he's rocking at the moment, his longer hair, he looks so old, I think. He looks, but yeah.
Also, I mean,
interesting choice.
Criticising Goldust for not wrestling in years. Can anyone remember the last time Elias wrestled in an actual match?
No.
Yeah.
When you come to SummerSlam, you don't wrestle anymore. You just kind of you watch and get a 4 out of 10 for the year.
Oh, and another. Oh no, I'll let you have a best of the rest now, Adam.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Brett. Well, you guys have basically said mine, but I just want to say that although I didn't rate the match, I didn't think the women's tag match was very good. The result was great because we talk about wanting surprises. That was a genuine surprise, and the Iconics are going to be brilliant as champs.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say, and I was hoping you were going to mention it.
Oh, good. Yeah. I'm especially excited. Obviously, I just want to see the promo that they're going to cut on SmackDown on Tuesday. But the idea that they will probably, they'll have to be on Raw defending it. They'll probably go down to NXT and get a Heroes Welcome and defend it on there. They're going to be brilliant champs. I just hope that, as we've said with Kofi, that actually they do retain. And by the time that people listen to this, they don't. They haven't dropped them. But yeah, I thought that was a really, really cool and unexpected moment.
Just to sneak something back in, which I totally forgot about with Ms. Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon's entrance was good.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot.
with him getting the
Just
announcer
getting
to...
them to do it again and again. It was a real horrible McMahon abuse of power, and he played it perfectly, and I had a lot of time for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Good stuff. Any other last little
Yeah.
notes for best of the rest?
I feel we have to mention the SmackDown tag team match.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, of course.
That match
Sorry, that was actually my main one.
So fun.
Yeah, it was. Loads
They
of
did
action.
such a good job, yeah. I tell you what, actually, if they commit to it, and it's such a big if they put Nakamura and Rusev together and actually work on that, I could see that as a good tag team.
It was just, yeah. I mean, they're doing nothing else with Nakamura. Why not? And
Yeah.
Rusev needs a bit of help.
I'm not
but
convinced.
It's got to be the Cesaro, Sheamus kind of. What was it the? Oh god, what? Oh my god, I'm having a moment here. The spinny move.
The spin.
Yeah, that section was fun.
The spinny move and
spin
the
and then the
beat of
clubs. Sheamus.
Thank you.
It was a great reminder of how good the Bar are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you think that they were one of the teams that obviously suffered in that gauntlet match when the New Day had to try and get Kofi into the main event, but they're just bloody good, bloody good.
Yeah.
And that spin just went on for ages. I think I saw
did.
somewhere it was like 32 revolutions.
I
or
was
something.
worried about Ricochet because, like, obviously he does all his, flying spinny stuff, and I thought if he's, been spinning for that long,
Yeah.
his equilibrium's going to be all over the place, and then
Yeah.
he's going to have to try and hit a 540 or something.
Well, he'd already done that incredible. I mean, what are they called when you're basically, it's some sort of Rana, isn't it? When you're basically like spinning somebody stood there and you're spinning around
The
their neck.
Hurricanrana thing.
Yeah.
Like went around like Cesaro like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, and
I
I personally, I don't think it's very rare that those moves look good because they're kind of a bit clunky sometimes as they're trying to get themselves round. But Ricochet is basically a gymnast, and it looked amazing. I thought he
Yeah.
did it so fast.
It helped having
Yeah.
someone as stupid strong as Cesaro being the
True.
guy,
Yeah.
spinning round on such a solid base.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if Cesaro had bulked up a bit more or if Sheamus has trimmed down because they've sort of met in the middle.
I think Sheamus
In
has
scale now.
dropped a bit of weight actually. He looks really
Yeah.
lean. He looks really good.
He didn't look as thick
Yeah.
as he usually does.
Is that thick? THICC.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the when Ricochet broke the pin with a shooting star press, which is just totally
A
unnecessary.
stand-in shooting star press. Isn't it?
It's like you could just lean down and just
Yeah.
or kick them or something.
Yeah, but if you can just shooting star press everywhere, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, that's true.
There was that amazing sequence where everyone was doing their kick finishers. You had like a
Yeah.
Black Mass, Matcha kick, King Sasha, Bro kick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to
love
say
that.
that. And the Black Mass is just the best.
It really
It looks amazing every time.
And how good for Alistair to get his full entrance at WrestleMania. It looks so
Hell
good
yeah.
with the ramp. And do you notice they seem to have added some sort of sound effects, like a creak, as
Yes.
the thing
Yeah,
like lifts him
I
up.
heard that.
They did
Weird.
that on Raw or whatever it was, like in the build
did they?
up, but they didn't do it on Takeover.
No,
And that like confused me. I was like, oh, is this not a thing now then?
Raw's got more budget
Yeah.
for sound effects.
Yeah. Well, like,
God,
they've
yeah.
made the sound effect. Just hit play. Come on.
No, it's
Very
live.
good
Someone's
question.
there cranking something live every time. Jay Briscoe's
Igor.
just there.
The real question is, when are they going to just change their names to Alistair and Rick?
oh God, no. Alan Rick,
Alan Shea.
Alan Rickman.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh,
It's coming. Okay, but yeah, I agree. That was a really good match. Definitely, that was my best of the rest. And for some reason, I then read my second one, the Iconics winning the titles. But we got to cover it anyway, so that's good. Should we move on to worst of the rest?
Also known as the second half of the show.
Yeah, usually. But we've been going, I don't know. I reckon we can keep this kind of brief. And we had a break just before best of the rest. So I say, let's just crack on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's do it.
Okay.
let's do it. Worst of the rest. My opinion is that everything else was generally okay. Like after most of the matches, I was turning to John and being like, that was okay. That
Yeah.
was like nothing was awful. But if I had to, I know, I can imagine Sam now, the face you must be pulling, Sam, thinking about Triple H and Batista. Yeah. But I would like to refer to Kurt Angle's send-off,
Okay.
which felt like kind of like a nothing occasion in a way, when it should have been a really big deal.
I thought that match was
Yeah.
all right, actually. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought the match was okay. And I do think, as we always say, I think Baron Corbin is actually pretty good. But I just thought the send-off he didn't really say much. He didn't even seem to be that emotional. He just walked up the ramp. Like I said to John at the end, I kind of expected maybe them to bring out a lot of the roster to clap him off or something. It's a big deal.
So, yeah, I mean, I was 100% convinced that Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin was a massive swerve. Yeah. And it was going to be Baron Corbin comes out, and just after Kurt Angle comes out, they'll be in the ring, and before the bell goes, dip to black. And then you'll have Baron Corbin lied out and the Undertaker there. Oh. And then it would be an awful match. And then
that would have been a great moment, but you're right, that match would have been awful.
Yeah.
I would have bet my house on it. Glad it didn't happen. I'm really happy actually for Baron Corbin because it's nice for them to actually pay it forwards to wrestlers who are going to be active in the future. Kurt Angle getting a win over an active superstar, whilst it's nice for him, is also kind of not really going to build to anything. It's not going to help Baron Corbin.
No.
Yeah, I mean, what do retiring wrestlers and Adam's mum have in common?
Oh, John.
They all go out on their back.
For fuck's sake. That is so out of character for you.
After we dropped shade on their mums during TakeOver.
Yeah, see?
That's true. God, a lot of mum chat. And mum, my wife listens, my mum also listens.
Really? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Do you feel bad now? Oh. No. Of course she fucking doesn't listen. I just wanted to make you feel bad. Oh God, I hope she doesn't listen. She might listen and not tell me. That'd be weird. Yeah, I'm thrown now, talking about my mum on her back. Can somebody move on?
So, this match made sense story-wise, and there's no point putting Kurt Angle over, despite the fact it's his last match, because he's leaving.
Yeah.
I thought the match was fine. It did feel a bit... It felt really sad to see Angle go, actually. I mean, he's obviously been on his way out for a long time. And seeing him wrestle this nowadays is kind of a bit depressing, because...
This was the wrestling equivalent of Old Yeller, wasn't it?
It really was. He really is one of the greatest of all time. I know WWE throw that around a lot, but Angle seriously is.
Mm.
Yeah. Brett, I know you used to be a massive Angle fan, right? And you hate Baron Corbin, so this must have been an interesting one for you.
I think, I still hate Baron Corbin, but I think it was right for it to go the way it did. And it was fairly quick, which was also a positive on such a long show. But it's also, good because I did absolutely love Kurt Angle, but I just can't. No, it's not nice seeing him, the way he is now wrestle.
No.
Yeah.
You want to remember the prime like the best.
With Baron Corbin, with him changing his look, shaving his hair, doing the whole GM stint for a little bit, have you softened to him at all?
Good
in
question.
The last year or so?
No, not well. No, I guess a bit in that I respect the fact that he is doing great heel work because I still hate him. But you know what? The changed look, he needed to change his look. Yes, the hair definitely. But for the look to be just like black trousers, black shirt, and sometimes a waistcoat, it's just shocking. I mean, it's WrestleMania. It's Kurt Angle's retirement match, and he's just black trousers, black shirt. It looks.
Do you know what the ironic thing is?
Stupid.
Is that kind of someone could have gone up to him and been like, "You're not coming in here looking like that."
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the fact that he's changed everything, and he's still not quite there. It's like it's kind of like watching Grease, like with Danny and Sandy, except it's Brett and Baron Corbin.
I mean, it's kind of like that.
Yeah. I'm just need a musical number and I'll be happy.
Well, speaking of musical number, how about Lacey Evans' entrance music?
Oh God, when is this going to end?
Sakes. What are they doing?
She got her WrestleMania moment. It's going to be worth it because we always talk about her and we don't like her and we don't know what they're doing. Surely it might end up being worth it.
No, this is going to ruin her.
No, she'll just leave or be released before it happens, like Eva Marie or whatever.
Eva Marie, yeah, exactly.
Really putting the cart before the horse here with this whole thing. Lacey Evans on NXT was a good wrestler who had a kind of 50s Southern Belle lady kind of gimmick.
Yeah, and
as part of it
was building. She was, building towards being something, but then they took her away from it, and now they're just having her waltz in and out in old-fashioned dresses.
Yeah, it's just weird. I can't imagine like looking over the running order for WrestleMania, all 50 pages of it, and like just one bit of it, and then Vince, Lacey Evans comes out wearing a polka dot dress. Yep, and she walks around. Yep, pushes up against the light board. Yep, and then goes back. Yeah. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, we got the time for that. That fits in perfectly.
I promised everyone their moment. I promised everybody would get to come out at some point.
Because we need to pad this pay-per-view out, because we're only at 5 hours at the moment. We need to get 5:20 somehow.
Yeah. Well, Vince, could we just put her in the Battle Royale? Because, we've got all the other women in there. No, absolutely no way. She's not wrestling
Got to
for
protect
another
her.
3 years. Got to protect her.
Absolutely insane. I just don't know what they're thinking.
Bonkers.
Yeah. Anyway, other worst of the rest. Sam, you want to talk about Triple H versus Batista?
Oh, yeah, that's on mine as well. I fucking hated that match.
Grand. Can you guys talk about it? Because 100% I fell asleep during it.
I don't blame you. I hated it.
This match was all it could be, I think.
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
Oh, I did. I mean, because I don't like, I'm not the biggest no DQ match fan anyway.
True.
But like, just seeing these two lumber around and pretend to take out a nose thing, and I just his nose piercing.
What do you mean pretend?
Yeah, well, 'cause it's not like he rolled around on the floor hiding his face forever so that he could try and
I thought they did that okay.
Yeah,
but it was just like terrible. And what else I hated about this was like, it's so long because they've got so much talent they want to fit in, but no, Triple H has still got to have another match, and he's got to spend like most of the budget on his own entrance. Forget everyone else. This is the Triple H show. Like, he's really filling into a McMahon in that aspect.
What really upsets me about this match isn't the fact that this match happened. It's the fact that this match was the longest one on the card.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
And it really didn't need to be at all. Like,
fuck, that's bad.
Just an insane insult to everyone who is on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as maybe we don't want to watch Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin, do you know what? 6 minutes or however long it was. This is 24 and a half minutes. Like, that's... Triple H can't wrestle 24 and a half minutes anymore, as much as he wishes he can.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's really bad. I didn't realise that. So, yeah, I'm looking. Kofi versus Daniel Bryan was 23 and a half minutes. This was a minute longer than the main event was 21 and a half minutes.
How long was Shane Miz?
Obscene.
16?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 15 and a half.
Yeah, it's one of those weird ones, and it's just like... There's so many strange things with this match. Like, kind of going to Triple H's entrance. Like, is there a new Mad Max film coming out or something? Or was it just a kind of, I want to do a Mad Max entrance?
Yeah, I just want to do a Mad Max entrance.
It wasn't even that good,
No,
was it?
No, it was really poor graphics.
From like a Mad Max game on like a really old console, like PlayStation 1 or something.
Poor graphics,
Yeah.
and then just coming out with one vehicle. And I thought it was being driven by the Miz's dad as well at one point. It
So,
wasn't.
in regards to that guy who was driving it, that poor dude had water spat all over his head. Awful for him.
Very
what
true.
a bad day. And then, like, the toolbox, I was like, there's a chain in the toolbox because that's a tool that we need all the time, I guess. And
yeah, classic. I've always got a load of chains in my toolbox.
I don't know, man. Like, just make the match 6-7 minutes long or whatever, and then we've got no problems. But
I agree, it should have definitely been shorter, but I think they did the best they could. It had to be sort of a hardcore match because it kind of hides the fact that neither of these two wrestle, and Batista hasn't wrestled in a long time.
No.
Yeah, they just shouldn't be wrestling.
And fair play to Batista, he took some brutal bumps on this, like on the steps where he bounced off it, and then on the table.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing is that, as far as I understand correctly, Batista has retired now. Like, that was his last match.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought he had announced his retirement afterwards.
Hadn't he already retired and this was his comeback?
Maybe. I'm not sure. But, like, the stipulation kind of belied the result. Like, kind of,
I think it was just Triple H would have been forced to retire from in-ring competition, and that's not happening. He's going to be back.
Well, exactly. Like,
He's coming out on a galleon in Tampa Bay.
Oh my god, he will do, yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
Lots of problems with this.
But the announce tables, like, they were solid during this
were solid.
You'd be
WrestleMania.
proud of yourself if you built those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were not going down, were they?
No. And you'd have thought, like, Batista falling on them, that would have broken them. But no, they stayed.
What I like about it, though, is that Dave Batista doesn't need to do this. Like, he's in movies.
No.
He's so successful these days. He's doing it because, you know, he loves wrestling. He's a wrestler.
That's cool.
Well, I don't give a fuck.
Also, someone with Dave Bautista's success should have way better tattoos than he's got. They are some shanky ass tattoos he's got.
Whoa. Because I remember, I think his back tattoo is good.
Oh, no.
And the American flag one, that's kind of cool.
No, that doesn't look good. I don't think the American flag. And what
You
about
guys
his
don't have
dogs?
design
What about his
taste.
dogs on his thigh?
I don't mind the dogs, actually. I'm okay with the dogs. I like,
Yeah.
You're all right with the dogs?
I'm a bit sad he's covered up his terrible belly button tribal tattoo.
If I get like a Batista doll, can we like hang out and just be like, and point to the doll, where do you not like the tattoos? And you can just kind of work out which ones are the good ones, which ones are the bad ones, and just picks out the bad ones.
Oh dear. But yeah, the key thing being absolutely right to say that should not have been the longest one. Shave 5 minutes off. 20 minutes would have been way too long. But shave 5 minutes off and let us have 5 minutes to watch WrestleMania. What the fuck am I talking about? Let us have 5 minutes to watch Becky Lynch revel in her victory. We want to see the man and enjoy what's just happened. And we want to be a part of that moment. And it just cut because Triple H is so vain.
Veiny.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean that just sums it up really well.
Yeah. Good.
Shall we talk about Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio quickly?
Yeah, go on then. Rey Mysterio injured before.
Yeah,
was
I think
he?
that's why
Explains it,
this
but-
was so quick.
It has to be, right?
Okay.
I was really excited about this match beforehand because I thought it'd be perfect for both of them because Ray's small enough that Joe can be like a monster. And obviously then Ray can just be this sort of babyface in peril, which he does really well. But obviously it was only a minute long. And
Yeah, I literally heard it start, turned away from the screen for a moment, and then it was over, and I was like, what? What happened?
Yeah, exactly. Same here. I was ordering the pizza for me and John, and there was a 619, a coquina clutch, and just as I pressed like complete order, the match was over. So I didn't really see it either.
I had no idea he was injured, so kind of I was sat there just wondering why they did this, but that makes a lot
Yeah,
more sense.
why
now,
did
so.
they bury Ray like that? No, yeah, it made sense. I've got two very small, quick worst of the rest.
Go on then.
Is there anyone that throws a worse punch than Shane McMahon?
nope.
Like, it looks terrible.
Oh man, it's so bad. It's good though.
Yeah, and I'm going to leave that there. And then the other thing is, and I know sort of you mentioned one of them's entrance, but I really hate individual entrances to tag teams.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
I despise that.
Like, forget the different music and the thing. Just give them something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
Even
they
Aleister
can
Black
be-
and Ricochet.
Yeah,
Even Aleister Black and Ricochet.
They need something. Like, if they're going to be a tag team in a tag team title match,
What would
make
you
them
do?
a tag team.
100%, I'm with you on that one because, like, the thing is that it's all very well for WWE to say, "Oh, we're going to put these two wrestlers together because we think they'll complement each other. It'll be a cool for the tag team division." But you know what? If you're not going to invest in them, like to give them Titantron or music or whatever, then why are we going to invest in them? That's
I know exactly what you mean, but I think when it's people like Aleister Black and Ricochet, we're hopeful that they're not actually going to be a tag team for very long.
No,
So why
totally.
bother?
But it doesn't hurt them
bother?
to do it. I mean, because they've had how many matches as a tag team now? Like, it's
Well,
not
yeah,
a
quite a
one-off,
few.
and this is WrestleMania for a championship belt.
I quite like what they did with the bar, where it was a similar situation, and then they started getting their gear together, and then do they still do the mesh of their music?
yeah, and I still hate that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least they've got gear, and they're actually called the bar.
Yeah.
But,
I just don't
did
think
take a
it
while to
would.
get there.
It would cost WWE, anything that they couldn't just do it, even if it was, for a one-off.
But then
And
we're in this
they forget
situation
it.
where you end up with tag teams like the Deleters of Worlds.
Yeah,
Is that the kind of thing you want to happen again?
yeah.
Because that was pretty shit.
I think the problem is there's so many of these tag teams at the moment.
But if you look back through the kind of like the archives of stuff, like Rated RKO, that's Edge and Randy Orton put together randomly, and they turned it into a tag team, and they were pretty damn good. I mean, yeah, maybe they had their own individual
That's
music,
a good
but
name. That is a
they
good
put
name.
a name for it, and they worked.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a challenge to the listeners. Please come up with a tag team name for Ricochet and Aleister Black that could work. 'Cause I'm struggling to think of anything.
That isn't Alan Rickman.
They're just too different, and I just can't think of anything. But anyway, I really am hoping they're not going to stay together for too long. But it's a valid point. It is a valid point. Okay,
Flight of the Night.
Flight of the Night.
Yeah.
That kind of works.
It kind of works, but when they say, if they did that, we'd be like, what the fuck? This is Aleister Black and Ricochet. I can't believe they've done this to them.
Your impression of me is absolutely spot on.
But at the moment, we've got the hope that they're going to get split up. But anyway, should we move on? Should we talk about star performers?
I've got one gripe. Can I have one gripe?
Gripe away.
Okay, one final gripe.
So, obviously, you got to Adam's lovely house, sat down,
Thank you.
put WrestleMania.
I gave him a seat this time. He didn't have to stand for the whole of it.
Very comfortable couch, lovely. Put WrestleMania on, super excited. Alexa Bliss comes out, excellent. And then whose music hits?
Oh, John. Yep.
It just sucked the life out of me, that did. I was like, I can't believe they're doing this.
We were going to pretend that didn't happen.
And he made a Pontiac Silverdome joke, and it was like, ugh. I was so hoping like that you could hear some boos, but you couldn't hear any boos. That's it.
But everyone booed. Yep. Do you know what? I'm gonna break ranks here and go back to a best of the rest because I'm not going to end on a negative here. I like Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley.
Ooh. No, we shouldn't talk about this because John really didn't like it.
Nope.
And
but like, I feel bad for giving Bobby Lashley a 0 now.
Really?
As you should.
Put some contact lenses on him, and then now he's a 4.
Better than Elias.
Fair. I can't argue with that.
There are plenty of matches we haven't talked about, but I just think if we talk about them all, we're kind of saying it was okay.
It was okay. I think
that's where I'm at.
But what I mean is we're kind of saying it's okay for WrestleMania to have put that many matches on the card.
I don't think there's a match we haven't talked about.
Well, we've got Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre.
Oh, okay, good point. Let's move on.
Oh, I do have a note on that.
No, you don't. No.
Can I make one?
Go on quickly. Then at least we've referred to each one.
Headbutted a Samoan, and he won.
Good stuff.
That was so worth it. Right.
Okay, so star performer, and I'd imagine we're all going to pick the same person on this, but it's the standout performer, the VIP, the person who either had the best performance or we think deserves to be called our star performer.
And he was money, dollar.
No, it's got to be. Well, for me, it's got to be Kofi. Any disagreements with that?
No. I mean, Becky and the Iconics come close, but it has to be Kofi.
Yeah,
definitely Kofi, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't even think of Becky, but that's because she won and then it got cut, so we didn't even get to see it. So. I just think of Kofi, him standing there with the other team members and with his kids.
It was such a great moment. It really was. It was awesome.
Yeah. Next up then. Oh, sorry. Do we all agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did all agree. Okay. Right. Star performer picked. Well done, Kofi. And now for the overall rank, we're going to give it a score out of 10 and see how it compares to other events. So I am going to go first because I'm not going to be swayed, and I'm going to go for a 6.5.
Yeah.
I thought it was
you
good.
love your half marks, don't you?
Yeah.
I do.
There's no commitment to a solid number.
Actually, you're right. The last 4 pay-per-views I've given half marks.
That's nice, though. It's finesse.
Yeah.
I mean, John, let's remember that John gave Fastlane a 9.8, so I don't know.
I think we can all agree it was a great
pay-per-view. You should be
pay-per-view.
criticising me.
Absolute chaos.
Yeah. Sam gave it a 2, for fuck's sake. If we've got any new listeners, which there's a good chance we might have some new listeners after our advert in Pod Bible. Hello. Thanks for listening this far. Yeah. Scoring is often a shambles.
Do you know what?
Yeah, what?
For the next hardest question of the week,
What?
please, can you ask the listeners, what did you score Fastlane out of 10?
I thought you were going to
So
say,
we
can
can
you ask
get an
listeners,
answer.
what do you see in this podcast? Why do you
Well,
listen?
that's a follow-up question. Now, can we just ask them to rate Fastlane so we can put this to bed?
Might be a lot asking them to rate a pay-per-view that was 3 months ago.
That's right. That's what I'm asking. Out of 10.
Great content, great engagement with the listeners.
This is why I'm not allowed near the Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, WrestleMania 2019 literally happened 2 days ago, so we can talk about that. Not even 2 days, it was 1 day. Wow. 6.5 from me. Brett.
I was going to go 7.
Okay. John.
I'll also go 7.
Sam.
I was going to go 7.5, actually.
Well, that would make the average a
0.5.
7, so it's easy for you if you do that.
Haha. 7 it is. Yeah.
7 average, or yeah.
7 overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, good.
yeah.
A solid 7.
I think that's fair because WrestleMania feels like, you know, when a band you really like does like a double album, you're like, oh, you pretentious arseholes. If you just cut this down to one album, this would be amazing, but it's crossed 2. It's after bullshit. That's kind of what WrestleMania is like.
Yeah, perfect.
What did we score the last WrestleMania?
Ooh, I don't think we did scoring back then, did we?
That was before records began.
Okay.
Before
Yeah,
records
stupidly,
began.
for some reason we didn't do this. The first show that we started doing the scoring on was Extreme Rules 2018, which got an average of 4.6. But WrestleMania 2019, with its 7, comes in just above NXT UK Takeover Blackpool and just below Survivor Series 2018.
I would say this WrestleMania is better than last year's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. Because the main thing about this is that I didn't think there was anything that was like really bad. Personally, I don't think there was any where I was like, God, this is terrible. So, well done, WWE.
No Jinder, no Big Show. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Jinder was in the Battle Royale, wasn't he?
Oh, was he?
He was. He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Former WWE champion.
You barely noticed him, though. You barely noticed him.
Okay, let's have a quick sting and then let's end the podcast.
Let me tell you guys, that's the hardest part of the ring right there. That's where that steel goes down and a lot of, I'm going to tell you, you don't want to land right there.
Right, so next podcast, it's kind of up in the air at the moment. We do have a quiz on the way, don't we, Sam?
It's in the works, boys. It's in the works.
Oh, exciting times. Sam obviously was the winner of the end of year quiz, so he retained the Money in the Bank briefcase. I say briefcase, lunchbox. And his reward, as well as the lunchbox, is to write the whole of the next quiz. And you've been busy, haven't you?
I've been fairly busy, but you know, I'm never too busy to write some questions about stuff that I don't really know.
Good stuff. So we've got that to look forward to. It could be next week, could be the week after, could be the month after. Might never happen, but hopefully it will. And then we also have coming up the 2019 draft. Now that our wrestling year has come to an end because of WrestleMania, we're going to start a new year and we're going to pick our fantasy drafts. There are rumours of a superstar shake-up happening on Raw and SmackDown, so we're probably going to keep an eye on that, as it would probably be best to do the draft after that. So if you really want to know what's happening in terms of next episode, I'd just keep an eye on our social media. And if only there was somebody here who knew those details.
Well,
Brett?
sorry.
There was a run-in.
Sam, yeah.
There was a run-in.
A run-in.
My fists are up, like the Mrs. Dad.
Excuse me? Okay. Go for it, Brett. How do people keep in touch?
They can send their emails to hardestpartofthering@gmail.com. You can get us on social media, being Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. We are at hardestpartpod. And we have a shop which you can buy t-shirts and stickers and stuff, which is hardestpartofthering.bigcartel.com.
Brilliant.
Often emulated, never duplicated.
Every week we read out that shop, and every week we get so many orders. It's just unreal.
Can't keep up.
Honestly, we're making so much money from this. It's just unreal.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely. Dollar bill. So that's it. That is WrestleMania 2019/35 reviewed. And we'll be back soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me, Adam. It's goodbye from Sam.
Shit, did Baron Corbin forget who he was wrestling in the match, by the way?
What?
Yeah. Like halfway through the match with Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle, he just said, "You can't see me," and started doing all this Cena stuff. It was weird.
Well, because there were a lot of rumours. So this is interesting. Shall I just edit this section out and put it back into the bit where we talk about that match?
No, let's just put it in the goodbyes. It's a goodbye question.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to answer it for you. That's because there were a lot of rumours that John Cena was going to be the guy that ran out and wrestled instead of Corbin.
Oh, that would have made way much more sense. Way much more
I'm
sense.
with you now. If only I kept up with wrestling rumours. Thank you, Adam, and goodbye.
Yeah, great end. Goodbye from John. Any questions, John?
No, actually, no. I was going to try and think of something witty, but my brain's gone dead.
Yeah, that's 7 hours of WrestleMania for you. And Brett, goodbye to you.
Goodbye.
That was the hardest part of the ring.
I actually do have one more question. What is a mesomorph?
Is that like the bad guy from Power Rangers?
Okay, cool.
That is the hardest